order. Motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Aye.
No questions or
And then
concerns?
motion
from the
to
audience?
approve the consent
What did they
agenda, which includes the next scheduled plan.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Public comments, I've tried to limit them to 3 minutes.
First of all, I don't know why you guys ask people to be on the agenda because you never put us on there. And I found out that to be a pool manager, you have to take CPO certified pool management and a lifeguard certificate. And you can do that online. And, that's about it. Just no, oh, one more thing. When are we gonna do something about Laura being caught with stolen property, possession of stolen property? I've talked to other councils and she should be kicked off. So that's it.
Anybody else? New business. Discuss with Jefferson Telecom. Is Jefferson Telecom guy here?
Yep, I'm Jamie Dotnick, so thank you for letting me come and talk. I got Dwayne, who's our plant manager, CTO, with us as well, and Neil, who's our engineering firm. So for many years ago, we've had 100% fiber to the home in Jefferson, and there's been some state and federal funding made available for more of the rural areas to get everybody connected with high-quality broadband using fiber optics. And so our plan is our goal is to get everybody kind of in the rest of Green County with the option to be able to hook up to fiber optics. In order to do that, want to do the rural area, but then also have the opportunity to come to Grand Junction and offer that for anybody who's there. So part of that goes with a kind of a hut. So we have all of our cabling, and that's kind of part of the discussion I think Dwayne has had and Neil with people on finding a good location for that. And I've discussed options kind of right around here as a potential option, but just wanted to first, kind of introduce ourselves coming over here and appreciate the opportunity to talk and answer any questions if you have.
I will say, I know that you guys looked at the block building out here, the back, I call it closet area. Is that workable for what you need? Is there enough room in there? Or have you not decided that yet?
I did look at it, and there is an opportunity, but until we have actual engineers look,
Okay,
so as far as the decision on exactly where it would have to be kind of work with you guys and say, yes, this will work, or this is better.
okay. I'm just gonna say, when Laura and I originally talked to you, and yeah, I had to find you in the room there. You guys had said when your engineering people start coming around, looking at the town and driving around and stopping and writing stuff down, you would let us know that you were in town to do that. Are we even close to that to get specs and that kind of stuff, or?
Well, we've already been through the town, actually, it's done.
Oh, okay.
We
I
just
thought
need-
I saw people, but I wasn't sure it was
We
you.
need to finalize the building, that's what's left.
Okay,
Finalize what?
Or the building he was talking about.
Okay.
We haven't went to houses or anything like that, it's just right after we talked to you guys, he was driving around.
yeah, we just wanted, if we were gonna have, several people or even one or two driving around that were stopping in front of houses, we were just gonna kind of put it out there for everybody that, hey, don't anybody panic, this is the people that are here, don't be freaked out about it, that we know they're here and they're supposed to be.
We did let the county LC know
Okay,
they would be around in the rural area.
So everybody will have access to this fiber optic,
Yes.
like the swimming pool, the lagoon out there. So we can keep in contact, there's chances of doing that,
and so if we're understanding right, What this means for the town is the government, I don't know if it was state or federal, is paying for fiber optics to come into town at no cost to anybody. Is this correct?
So that's for the rural area, because technically you're considered served. Whether the quality of that is, ambiguity, basically.
Okay,
So the rural areas has lower speeds, and so that's why funding was available. And that's only about 10 to 20% of the cost for the funding of that. So like I said, our goal is to get everybody in the county connected, and so there's no assistance for us to come into the county or into Grand Junction to offer, but we want everybody to have that opportunity to be connected at no cost here.
so anybody that's listening that is thinking, oh my gosh, what is this gonna cost the town? It's not costing the town anything to have you guys come in. You will put it in town and take it right up to the houses. Now, if you choose to connect or not, then that's when it will cost you. Is this correct?
If it's at a later point in time, correct?
Yeah, correct. Basically, the fiber gets put to every house at no cost at all.
And if you,
That
And I
moment-
choose to go with you. I choose to go with you so I can have my Wi-Fi and my high-speed whatever and whatever. What is it gonna cost me to hook that up to my house? So I can go, oh, look, I got
At that time, when they're
it. This
construction,
summer, or whenever you guys are doing this, what is it gonna cost me?
So it's not gonna be an additional install charge above and beyond normal. So
What's
it'd
your
be-
normal, what's the normal? I don't even know what the normal is, you see, that's what I'm kinda asking.
So it'll be anywhere from, so we have all different speeds, we can go up to a gigabyte or gigabit per second speed, which is 1,000 megabytes. So anywhere from $70 up.
How deep do you bury the fiber optic?
In the alleyways, we usually go 42 inches as our desired depth, 36 probably at a minimum, and in the yards, 24 to 18 inches.
And is this optic fiber, is it like in a pipe or is it just? Okay.
Yeah, we'll install a conduit, an orange hollow conduit, and string the fiber through it once it's done. So they have directional bore machines, that's what they'll use to tunnel through the ground to pull the pipe back. So they'll sit in one block, in the block, and they can shoot to the other or several blocks at a time.
that's the main cable.
Yeah.
The drop to the house is fiber.
Yeah, that'd be a direct installation.
So what happens if you don't get enough people? What if you only get 10 people in town to sign up for your service? Are you still gonna be a good service company?
Yes.
Because that's been a problem.
Then we shut off the old one. You gotta use the old one.
Yes, our goal is to have more than 10, but yes, that we're gonna treat it just like our existing customers that we have right now.
So when somebody needs to locate in town, the gas, electric, all the different things, you're not gonna be a problem coming to town locating. We're not gonna have to wait additional days on you to come and locate.
It's
No, locates-
state laws.
Yeah, locates have to be done within 48 hours, called in to the one call system.
So this is part of the one call, Kenny, that
Okay,
you
yeah,
guys
just-
always use, that
Just
Well,
one
they'll
more
just
thing.
add that on to all the other locations,
Sure.
and the fiber optic.
Does the town get like they used to do with telephones and the old people gas and stuff, for the right to be in the town, do they give us very minute percent? Or do they, you guys don't do that anymore?
Yeah, I guess that's a franchise fee, is that a franchise fee question? I know that I was in cable TV, but no, so Jefferson doesn't have that franchise. And it's broadband, which is unregulated, so that's not a normal course of action.
So you're coming from, where are you bringing the line from?
Ultimately, it'd be coming from Jefferson, but.
We'll come back.
You're not using the high-powered line that Jefferson has to the bank and to the one that used to have to the schoolhouse that goes underneath the railroad tracks that come in from Highway 30, are you?
Those are fiber optic lines, we're gonna bring additional ones be quite a bit more. That's only a couple, this will be thousands of fiber optic lines that will be coming out of that.
So that's nothing to do with that.
No. No. They'll tie into that to utilize it, but that's just like one strand of fiber. We're gonna supply a fiber per house, town and rural. So that's how many fibers will be leaving this building that we're looking to, set up.
If the building out here does not work, they have talked about just east of that, behind that big wooden sign there, and that would be enough of an area for a place. I had somebody mention to me, what about behind the library? Did you guys look behind the library? Is that an option?
I guess it hadn't been mentioned to either.
Resident library behind the library.
Yeah, I mean, we're up for options, we just,
There is a tree back there, but it's just like a half a block to the west here off the alley. And I don't know if that's even an option, but if it doesn't work out for over here, then maybe behind the library, because it's space that isn't used, and it would also be behind the library, so it wouldn't be, I guess, seen.
Is there an
As
alley
much.
back there
Yes,
that goes that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
would you like to see a picture of the building that we
Yes.
put in?
yeah, that'd be great.
How big is it?
This particular one's about 12 by 12.
Will it fit on that side?
This is the type of building that gets put typically in a place
Ooh.
where it's just dropped off.
That's nice.
Pre-constructed. Not necessarily saying it has to do that, but that is typically what.
That looks pretty, destruction proof. Yeah. it doesn't
And then
look like it's-
At one time, you had mentioned a fence around it too. If building like this, you wouldn't have to have a fence around it too, would you?
The
Or would you?
fence was around the.
Part of that was
Generator.
because we were thinking of a generator
Okay.
at first, but after talking to Dean about the light and power, there doesn't seem to be a reason since Grand Junction has their own generator power for the town. So,
Okay,
true, that wouldn't happen.
okay, I was just questioning, I didn't,
That's why I say it's kind of a live thing going on until we all know what each other prefers. You know, and it's even mentioned down by the swimming pool, there's land that you have down there. Not necessarily looking for just city land, we knew that was an opportunity for that.
Well, what I like about up here, either that building or whatever, the alley can be done, you know, in, when there's snow or whatever. And I feel like the swimming pool might not get as cleared out as soon, just because, you know, in the winter, no one's swimming, and that's just an empty lot. So if somebody would need to get to it, at least it's an alley, you know, it's.
If they get it, who do you pay your bills to?
Jefferson Telephone, you'd be a customer of Jefferson Telephone, you get the same 24-hour service. Call at night, you'd be the same, people that are on call 24 hours, in the evening if you need.
Does this include telephone also? Or
Just broadband,
broadband?
internet, just internet.
So you won't be in competition with Windstream for telephone then, or what?
Not for telephone, correct, but for internet.
How long's Windstream been in town?
Long time. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, hey, Bob.
There's a lot of mergers and acquisitions over the time, but forever, pretty much.
So what is, if as a council we go, yes, let's go and start this project, what is the next thing you need from us?
Biggest thing is deciding where this building's going, that's really key to anything.
Okay, so we say that brick building's great.
Okay.
You guys have to tell us it's great, right? I mean, this,
Correct, I mean, there has to be things that we have to be able to do to it also.
Uh-huh.
Whether it be a door, we need to close it off just for security purposes for both you and us.
mhm,
If we're using just the back half of it and things like that. There's a lot of, you know, you're bringing in a couple 4-inch conduits to get all the fibers
Yeah,
coming into it, so there have to be things that drill holes through it and things.
Have you told any of the people in town know about it or are receptive to it, or you haven't went that far yet?
A little bit, just, informal, people calling us to see if we serve broadband, over the years. And kept track, but nothing super formal on the site survey or anything like that from people yet.
Jerry, I think anybody that has a computer or has, a couple of kids on a computer, or a kid that plays games, they're gonna want this high-speed internet. I don't know, this is gonna be a draw to sell a house. If you have fiber optics to it or you don't, could be a draw to get, if you're selling your place. This is that new day and age of technology counts for some people. And I think if they're willing to bring it to my house and it's my choice whether I hook it up or not, I think I'm just saying, I think we'd be silly not
Well, I
to.
just want to bring it up.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that
Once we kind of agree where everything is, there will be letters sent out to everybody of what's going on and what their options are.
So this is kind of an informational meeting tonight to see if we want to even allow you to look at the lots and all this, right? And we vote on that, is that what we're voting on?
We're not voting, we're just discussing.
Well,
vote
it
on
says
the
vote.
spot, vote on the spot for the
Oh, yeah,
building,
yeah, you're right.
equipment.
So if you end up using the brick building, any alterations that are needed are at your cost. We do nothing to that. And then if in 20 years fiber optics is gone and we're all doing something totally different, then, obviously we're not gonna sell you a portion of that building, but then anything that's in there is ours to do.
Did you expect us to give you this building, or you gonna buy it, or what? This is a temperature control, community control
Jerry,
building.
when they approached us, we didn't even think about that building at first. They said, I don't know if Dean was part of that, because you contacted him first, not knowing who else to contact. And I think between everything, thought about behind the wooden Grand Junction sign. It's kind of centrally located, it's hidden on Main, and then I don't know, somebody said, what about that brick building? It's already there, it's, so they weren't considering anything. It was kind of ideas being thrown at them and them throwing ideas back at us. Wouldn't
Right.
people agree to that?
There's one thing to consider though, there was grant money that redid that. Sometimes if you get rid of it, you gotta pay.
But we're not getting rid of it. We would never get rid of the building. It would be like a lease or some kind of agreement for a portion of that building. And that would be it.
That's
We would
correct.
retain
Yeah,
ownership.
There wouldn't be any compensation back from using our building.
Right, that's what we're
And
checking on.
and that's when Paula said, if they would happen to pull out, Jefferson Telecom decides no more, it's still our building. It's not like we have to sell it or sell it back to us, it's still the city's building.
It's temperature controlled and humidity.
But they're gonna put a door from the inside to the outside and probably put an outside door so that nobody but them has access to what they need.
Sure.
So straight up question,
Because we're only talking a portion of your building, so the front half's still all your storage.
yeah. So you're saying a franchise agreement is not really in the works. How do we go about then trying to work out some kind of agreement that we feel that we benefit on this also? Because we have to agree and maybe I don't understand this right, but we have to agree to allow you guys to come into our town, correct? Or not correct? I get that we would want you to come into our town because you're providing this, but we're also allowing you guys to come into our town versus anybody else that might.
It used to be that way, Paul, but I don't know if
That's
the
what I-
government's involved in it or not for,
Yeah,
what's
I
going
don't
on now.
Yeah, I don't know offhand for sure, but I don't necessarily think that would be accurate, because anybody could almost put up a tower and provide broadband service. You still have right-of-way agreements, which is the big, state right-of-way, So that'd be a big thing. It's more, I guess, same thing, us just coming and wanting to be here and talked about property values, those can increase. You know, I think it's national stat is about $2,500 for a fiber connected house compared to a non-fiber connected house. So there is a big advantage in that as well. But if there's something else that needs to get worked out, we can.
Yeah, when would we be able to discuss anything else, any other ideas that we may have to make this a little more workable from our end?
As far as timeline, that's what Neil was talking about, finding a site, finding that specific spot. I mean, in theory, that could be outside city limits too. You know, thought it'd be nice to be centrally located here.
Sure.
But then that kind of will then all go to bid, you know, later in a month or two, hopefully. And so it all depends on contractors and how far back that materials is a big thing too. So it could be.
I think what you're asking partially is, it would be if we leased ground or leased
Yes,
the building from you, all those things
Right.
would be in that lease agreement.
okay, so that,
It does not need to be figured out today, we'll put it that way.
okay, so today, okay, yeah, that's what I'm just wanting to know if there are some other issues that we're wanting to maybe kick around, bring up, something like that, kind of a little, you scratch our back, we scratch yours kind of deal. When do we bring that up? We don't bring that up tonight, we wait until we figure out where you're gonna put the building, right?
Correct, I think talk
We're
through
just
those.
actually giving them permission now to look for a lot or building and make decisions.
Yes, I understand. So, does anybody have any, questions, ideas, thoughts on where the building, do you have a preference?
Behind the library.
That would be almost perfect.
If it would work there, I don't know how much, there's that area there, and that building looks kind of big, so I don't know if that would,
That's not very big building. It's not a very big building.
I think it's 12 by 12.
Not down there, how about someplace on the schoolyard?
why not behind the sign, if the brick building won't work, and typically the brick building is ideal, does everybody feel like the brick building, everybody on the council, does anybody on the council not like the idea of using the brick building?
Is it gonna hamper any storage room?
I don't believe so. I think right now in that back storage room, there's a file cabinet that could be moved up front. There is a big old griddle that the Lions Club put in there that I don't even know if it works anymore. And what else is in there?
They just want the very south L shape back there.
Yeah.
They don't.
There's
use it.
tables and chairs, some extra chairs.
I don't think they're clearing the back though,
Oh, okay.
but yeah,
I think what's in there can be rearranged, removed, that doesn't need to be in there. At one time, there were some shelves full of Grand Junction 150 celebration stuff that needs to be out of there anyway. I think with a little
yes.
creativity, we can make it work.
Right.
And I feel like that building
If
is,
that's what they want. You know.
Yes, if that works,
That'll work.
are we all in agreement that that would be the first choice for us?
Yeah.
Then if that doesn't work, okay, so that's what we're saying now, first choice is the building. If that doesn't work for you and you come back and say we need another place, then where is our second choice? Why do you not want it behind that sign on the east side of that building?
Because I just like to keep that lot open.
Okay, anybody else?
I don't know how solid it is underneath there, you know, that a lot of buildings taken down.
But it's clear back by the alley. I mean, that's like right off from the alley, like how many feet would you say
Like 10, 15 maybe.
off the
Well,
alley?
see, that was all full, you know, to the lot lines, all of the buildings, and I don't know what kind of fill work was in there. you know.
But what about behind the library would be the same thing.
No, and,
There was
that
nothing
was a
there.
building there too. That was that old community center.
no, it didn't, not behind the library.
There was some building there.
That was
Yeah, Legion.
Legion Hall, community center, sorry, it was a community
That's
center.
been, I don't know, could be, but
But this just sets on
A concrete pad.
on a concrete pad, so it's not like that's any
Yeah.
big problem. Jake, where would you like the building if it's not in the green building?
I have either place is fine with me. I have no preference, I guess. If it will work out behind the library,
There is some kind of an electrical box
I don't.
behind the library
Right,
too.
and that can't be moved.
Right.
Well, here's the deal, let's see if the brick building will work,
Mhm.
and it's in you guys' hands now. And you know how to get a hold of us, yes or no with it. And if it's a no, then I guess we'll show you
We'll
behind the
look at
library.
we'll look at the library too. You can
Okay.
definitely look at it.
Yeah, go look right now and you can, see,
We'll know.
Do you realize about, of all the stuff that's underground here?
Yes, and that's
There's
kind
a
of,
lot.
and that's why we talked to Dean.
That's
Okay, I didn't know.
The contractors, I mean, this is what they do every day. I mean, they have to hand dig pretty much every alley.
There's a lot of stuff.
And
that's one of the main alleys back there.
on the other hand, you're gonna be doing one call, and one call's got it all, so I mean, nobody does anything without one call, and
And the contractors work hand in hand with utilities, whether it's the city or whether it's someone else.
So everybody's in agreement to let them come and look and see what spot is, pick out their spot.
Yeah, so at this time, I will make a motion that if it works to use the back end of the block building, that we let them go ahead with that, and it's not being sold to them, just so everybody understands. And as far as any kind of a lease agreement or anything like that, we will work those out when we figure out where it's going to be. Does that sound like how you guys work this?
Yeah, what happens if they want, I thought we were gonna give them 3 choices.
Right, but that's the first one, and I make a motion that if that works, we let them go with that. If they decide that that doesn't work and they want a different place, they come back to us and we refigure what is going to be better. And if you guys, I don't know, walk around and figure it out tonight or whatever, come back in if we're still having our meeting or,
I'm just curious, a little off subject, but you told Laura that it'd be $70 to get hooked up. Maybe somewhere in there, I would point to
That's
it.
the-
But what would be the monthly charge after that?
That's a monthly charge.
And that was the
60
basic,
60, yeah, $60, $70, somewhere around there.
and that, how high money-wise would it actually go up if you got everything?
I mean, that's about 100 megabits per second speed. So I don't know what you currently have here, but it could go up to 150.
Mm-hmm.
170, yeah.
For a gig,
For 1,000.
Okay. Just
and what does that 150 megabits, whatever you said, mumbo jumbo, nothing?
60,
How much does that cost?
$65 a month. We should have brought it over.
Thank- That's, I don't mean to be mean, but.
And it's a,
yeah.
So you can go to our website and see the prices on there. And so that for the internet, those would be the same prices.
Okay, sorry, Paul.
Okay, so I make a motion, we go with the brick building. If that works, if not, they will come back to us and we will figure out, they will come back to us where the next option is that they would prefer, and we'll go from there.
Second.
I,
Unless do you guys have anything else you want to tell us, present us,
Well, appreciate the time and
explain to us?
look forward to it, and we'll keep things moving along.
Thank you, and if we need to have you back at another one to explain everything, or if there's any kind of pamphlets or anything that you need to, have available, we can certainly.
if you end up with a question, don't hesitate to call or email me or whatever.
Okay, that sounds good, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to go over to the library
Yeah.
now if you want, look around,
Where we're
just,
going.
if you can't get a book, you can check out the back.
And there are snakes back there, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got women's club here tonight. Who's gonna speak?
oh,
Okay,
We're excited to donate $2,800.
Oh, wow.
We did very well.
Thank you.
We got some donations. We didn't get the biggest turnout that we wanted. I mean, we made $802 from the auction, 430 from the bake sale, and 280 from the kitchen, and the rest was donation. So we are excited to give you that for the
Well,
board.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you for that, thank you for all your hard work, ladies. I mean, you guys went to a lot of places and got the
Yeah, we went
donations
everywhere.
and stuff. There's a lot of work to that, and
It was nice, it was very nice. I'm sorry the weather sucked.
And I'm sorry I was out of town, dang it, everything fun is when I have something silly, but I also wanna know that I was given $100 check as a donation to go along with this.
Nice.
So not only 28, now it's 29, and
There you
I will
go.
add that, we'll add that with it, and we will, the pool will get some nice things.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll try to keep you updated,
Right.
on what we have done. One of the things that we're working on is the kiddie pool, because the kiddie pool hasn't worked for several years. This year, they're already looking into
That's a
doing
good
that.
idea.
Some of the piping has been replaced down there, the regulator for the hot and cold showers.
They, replumbed the office, so when you're sitting there, you're not getting sprinkled with water. That was
Right.
kind of a good thing. I mean, you're sitting there in a hot day, you're getting sprinkled with hot water. It's not really a fun.
Well, we
thing.
really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work. We did a lot of running. We did a lot of baking.
And,
There's some great bakers in this town,
Yes.
that's for sure.
and we have ordered the steps for the pool, those are ordered, and the 2 lifeguard chairs, so we'll be, doing something with those, but we'll keep you posted on what we use the money
That's
for,
good.
so thank you guys, we really appreciate it.
And if you wanna do another one, well,
There you go,
Well, let's,
there you go.
Yeah, we plan on doing another one for school, for the kids that can't afford it.
Sure,
But we were thinking like by the pool. or
Thank you,
something.
Katie.
yeah,
Okay.
awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Thank you very
ladies.
much.
thank you.
I want your answers,
Okay,
your questions.
Yeah, I want to.
that was pretty nice.
Good luck on
That is very nice,
Yes,
they did
it
a
is.
lot of hard work, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Vote on purchasing a new flag. Jake?
Yes, the flag is getting tore and needs to be replaced. And I also had a comment made to me about the lighting. The flags are supposed to be lit and the light that is up there doesn't quite do the job. Doesn't work at all. So
So there's a light there, it just doesn't work.
It's
It
just
is
a
a
solar,
pole,
it's a solar light.
Okay,
And I don't think he said even when it was new, it didn't work very good, but
okay.
it needs, we need a new flag. I make a motion, we, buy a new flag and look into some sorts of lighting to light it up at night.
I'm gonna say, I second it, I think that's, no doubt we need a new flag. And I just think if we need to replace the lighting, or if we need to fix what we have, I think perfect, because guess what? We got this $43,570 grant, well, not grant, money from the casino, from Grove Green County. They like us to do things with it, replacing, fixing the lighting. I mean, not that I think it's gonna cost that much, I sure hope we can get it, not gonna lie, we're gonna light up the night sky. But I'm just saying, I feel like this is a good project for some of this money to go towards. And if we can- That's okay, if you can get a bid on the lighting or get that, I think that's great, I mean, I think that's perfect, great.
And right now, as long as she brought up the Grove Green County, this is, the check, sorry, yeah, this is the check, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, that, Grove Green County gave to the city of Grand Junction, and so that would be a very good thing that, we could use it for, so thank you to Grove Green County, and now I'll put it back, I'm sorry.
No, you aren't sorry, you're getting even.
I am sorry, I'm sorry I got caught.
Vote and approve notice of tax levy and approve resolution 2023-4010-01. Wendy?
All right, so I'm working on the budget for this next fiscal year, and first step is to approve the tax levy. So I need somebody to make a motion to approve that, and then we'll send resolution.
I make-
This is, according to what the whole state's doing, right?
Okay, so I make a motion to approve resolution 2023-410-01.
I'll second.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Discuss and vote to approve 28E agreement with the township hall.
Yes. Okay, so the latest version of the township, we don't have the township signatures on this 28E agreement yet, and it's my understanding from Wendy that the townships are meeting on Thursday night to sign this. We based what they are going to have to pay on a $40,000 budget for the fire department, with the understanding, and we've got some rules that we're gonna bring up, that we're working on for how that $40,000 is spent, because it's gonna have to go through the council, so that we're over it. But just so that anybody that wants to know, Junction Township is going to be paying $12,590 for their share. Washington Township, $9,846. Grant Township is $414. Ribby, I believe, is going in with us. If they do, they're gonna pay $2,850. And then Grand Junction will, it's gonna be 14,000, roughly 14,300. We did originally have Hardin Township in there, and they have dropped out. So we will be paying roughly $14,300 of the $40,000 budget.
Where's Hardin Township, do you know?
Do you know?
I'll look at the map.
Dang, push them on the spot there.
Sure,
But the benefit of all this, just so that everybody knows, the big explosion that we had with the fire department in December, that we were back and forth on, that seemed to be the worst thing ever, actually ended up being the best thing that happened, because then we found out that we should be getting money from these townships, and big money from these townships, which makes their budget bigger for them, and it dropped ours. Last year, we had them at a budget of, I think, 24,000, and of course, we're gonna have to amend it because they've gone over just because of stuff that has happened. So we were paying the full 24,000 last year. This coming year, we will be paying 14,300. So that means more money in other places, but yet our fire department has benefited because they get a lot more money. So,
Because everybody raises the budget.
because everybody else is having to pay their share.
Well, now, we're making these townships pay their share.
Right.
You know, our fire department has been covering all these areas and not getting any benefit of it. And now, we, the taxpayers, aren't gonna have to carry that burden. So it was icky, but it's a win-win
It's a
situation
win-win for
for all of
everybody.
us, so.
Yeah, so it turned out to be great, and Jack Williams has helped us a lot getting this, and all these figures, they're not something that we came up with, they are based on a formula that the state of Iowa has. It's based on your population, the size of your township, how many fire calls, and I can't remember what else. But anyway, it's all tax money. And then it's my understanding what we're thinking on doing with this money also, one of the things that we're going to have is, if they don't spend all of their money, and we can vote on this at a later time, but if they don't spend all of their money in that fiscal year, we don't take it away from them, we leave it, it sits there, and then that builds up, so that then if they need another fire truck or something, they can start
The money
building
is
that
there.
up. And the money is there.
It's theirs, no one's taking it.
Yeah, it's just gonna set and build, which is incentive for them to maybe not buy something this year just to buy it.
Cause they know maybe next year they're gonna need something, I mean, kinda like. what someone's
Yes.
doing.
So since we don't have the signatures, but it's my understanding after talking to the county attorney that they are going to sign, I will make a motion that as long as they sign the agreement that we have at this point and no changes are made to it, that we approve to go ahead and sign these 2018 agreements. If they change anything, then we come back and we go over it. So does everybody understand what I'm asking or what I'm saying?
I second.
I,
I,
Vote and discuss callback work time and approve resolution 2023-410-02. Kenny,
what we wanna do is get more in line with what the electric company does. Instead of having 3 hours, we call someone, if they did their 8 hours, then it snows and they have to come back in. Instead of giving them 3 hours, regardless if it takes 10 minutes or 20 or 2 hours, we wanna change that from 3 to 2 to possibly 1 hour.
Because the thing, what we have written right now for compensation is minimum show up time. If you are required to report to work after you have left work for the day, before your scheduled work time, or on a day you are not scheduled to work a regular shift, you will receive a credit of a minimum of 3 work hours. It seems fair, except if you're coming back and you have to turn off the alarm in the building because nobody else did, or you have to pick up a dog and take it to the pound or whatever, lock the dump gates, then we're paying you for 3 hours at time and a half, and that's a little excessive in my book.
question,
Yes.
call back and it only takes them an hour, or if you book this hourly or 2 hours, and he's there 5 hours, you go ahead and
Well,
pay.
yes, yes.
For that.
it's
Yeah.
kinda like a 1 hour minimum. If it takes him 10 minutes, he's gonna get paid for that 1 hour.
Okay,
If he works, like you said, 5 hours, yeah, absolutely, we're gonna pay him 5 hours. But it's 3 hours to come over here and scoop the community center sidewalk. It's not gonna take him 3 hours to do that, you know?
well,
So,
I understand, I just wonder.
right, yeah, gotcha. I think 1 hour minimum is fine because he can get over, you know, he can get here, he can do it, he can work and he can leave, you know?
Well,
He or
let's-
she, I should say.
I wanna make a motion that we change it to 1 hour.
I'll second.
I,
Vote and approve engagement order that was sent by Bolton and Mink to hire Alkers or something. Cooney as board counsel.
Okay. So, Bolton and Mink sent these letters in regards to all the stuff that we're doing for the lagoon. We forwarded it after we had read it, each of us individually. We forwarded it to our attorney. Our attorney approved. It says it looks good. The thing that I will tell you is Bolton and Mink, Andrew from there offered to come tonight, but I thought we had enough other people coming and I didn't really know what questions we would have. The one thing that he did tell me is in this proposal, the cost for doing the smoke test, doing the jetting and the televising to run and see where we have problems, running that television scope down through there. That's all included in this proposal. So then I said to him, oh, and they will have the jet stuff. They will also have a vac truck here so that if there is a major plug someplace, they will clean that out. So then I said, well, right now we have Kelly Beeman hired to do routine maintenance to do this jetting. When are you looking at doing this? They would like to have it done in June and be finished by the 1st of July. So I said, is there any need for us to be doing this because we're just paying double here? And he said, no. So I did contact Kelly and say, hold up on this because we don't want to be paying double for what we're having done.
Are they gonna do the entire town?
Yes, Yes, they will do the whole town. And something else I asked, if they run into problems, like they find out that we've got a broken sewer tile someplace and that has to be fixed, or if they do something and they need a backhoe, they want somebody with a backhoe that's available. So I said, who pays for the backhoe then? Because if they need it and we're paying them, in my mind, it should be on them. Well, he said, I got the phone number of a guy to get in contact with, and I wasn't able to do that today. But he said it's his understanding that if it's from existing conditions, like a collapsed tile from age or whatever, then it's on us. But if it's something that they did to cause the problem that they need the backhoe for, then they will pay for it. But, you know, I said to him straight up, you know, it's always gonna be our fault. I mean, they're never gonna say, geez, that was our fault, we'll pay for it. The other thing that we need to vote on, included in this, we had voted for Dave Gleam before to be able to, he goes and he listens and he brings back information to us. And also he was gonna be the one to sign the papers for us as our representative. He is a contractor that is hired by us. He is not an employee.
Right.
So they will not accept that.
Oh.
So we need somebody else to do that. He had mentioned Wendy, but I kind of hate to lay that on her shoulders as the city clerk.
Remind me, they're gonna do the jetting, the smokes, the whatever,
Yes,
starting, let's say, June 1st, done
Right.
July 1st. And then they're thinking they can get started on like the next step of it,
yes.
like yet July, August, if time.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I said to him, I don't fully understand this, so just to make sure you are going to walk us through this step by step, right? Because I don't understand this. And he said, yes. And so I said, right now, our only problem is approving this letter and getting started with that, and then, and getting somebody to be able to sign. And then you will come back to us when you're ready for the next step and tell us what we need to do. Then we will approve that, and that's how they're gonna walk us through it.
Come back to something, I wouldn't accept what Dave Lane did. I didn't know.
He cannot sign any paperwork as a representative of us because he is not
For their work.
for their work, like to say, yes, go ahead, I have council approval.
Okay.
He's not, they won't let him be authorized to do that. So we have to have somebody authorized to do that.
Okay, if it's not Wendy, Rod, is that, I mean, who else is an employee?
No.
Well, no, it could be the council, somebody on the
Okay.
council too.
Okay.
We just have to vote in whoever it is that we want to
I'm an employee of the
do this.
city.
Well, you're not, but you're a legal representative, I guess, is what you would say.
Was he referring that we need to hire somebody? Is that what he's?
No.
No, we just have to have somebody voted in to sign the paper, and Dave Clean can't do it.
Does anybody volunteer to do that?
I think,
Jake? You're in town though, is what I'm
There you
saying.
go.
I
Yes.
If he's,
don't mind signing something, you
if
know.
he's farming and can't do that,
you would do it.
I would.
What are they doing? Whoever signs the paper looks at it and sees what they're doing, is that what you mean?
There's a lot of stuff has to be signed.
Okay,
Stuff
like
comes
this
in.
last paperwork that came through, we read it, and then we sent it to the attorney who really looks it over, and he knows what's going on, he understands the mumbo jumbo, so he says, yes, you're safe to do that. Then we have to have somebody that is representing us to sign it.
So anything that comes here is gonna go to Wendy, and then Wendy's gonna be like, okay, I got this, I'm gonna send it to our attorney, the attorney's gonna email back to Wendy, looks good, go for it. So then I come up and just sign it, or however you have to do it. So I mean, it's not really I'm not gonna legally sign anything, and say, yeah, this is right, until I have the attorney
Right.
that's telling me,
Do you have
go for it.
There,
And Wendy will do it, she said, if we want.
I volunteer to sign.
Okay, here's my only thought on you two at this point, and I'm fine with that, but I don't think that this whole project is going to be done by the end of the year.
Oh, I don't either, it's almost 2 years.
Okay?
Oh, I'm gonna be off.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you run again and you get on, you know, that would be great. That's why I suggested yes.
Oh,
I
it's
can't
a-
get in. I can't shoot off and just get it. You know what, I'll get the
Okay.
paperwork, I'll give it to you guys.
I was gonna say, she gets the paperwork, she sends stuff to us anyway,
Yeah.
whether text or email. And then you can always say, okay, I got the okay from the attorney and sign it. And then it's a step done and
Yeah.
I say, I'm gonna vote for Wendy.
Wendy,
Our
okay.
signing person.
Who inspects their work once they're doing it, or you just take your word for it? See, we had.
Well, the DNR is heavily involved in
Oh, yeah,
this,
you
so,
can
so
do
the DNR has got to do this, and he also said for Wendy to forward anything from the DNR, because sometimes the DNR forwards to them, sometimes they do not. So anything that we get, Wendy's gonna
Yeah,
forward.
that's right, the DNR director.
Yes,
I'm also gonna make a motion that we approve this engagement letter that was sent by Bolton and Mink to hire Allers and Cooney as bond counsel.
I'll second.
aye. And the second
What-
part of,
What is bond counsel? Who's that? What's that mean?
Well, I think they've got to try and sell bonds in order to come up with the money.
yeah, I think that they have to have somebody overseeing this so that nobody does anything that is illegal or whatever. I don't know, Jerry, I'm not an attorney or I would
Well,
be paid a lot more.
I asked.
No, I understand. So the second part of this is, I'll make a motion to have Wendy represent us as a signing person on any of the paperwork
Yeah.
from them.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Discuss and vote on cleanup day, Kenneth.
Okay, I think it's gonna be, what, June?
Usually it's the first Saturday in June.
Well, we need to discuss, I think we need to do it different. We don't need to do it every year. I think we should do it maybe once every 2 years, and I think the people that have stuff to get rid of need to bring it to us. We're not gonna be out there going after it.
I agree.
And there's different ways of doing that. There's some ways of doing it, if they have a refrigerator or a stove down in the basement, they can come and buy a ticket from us for whatever the price is, $5-10. And make sure it gets picked up, and as far as,
I like the idea that they bring this stuff to us because,
on the landfill stuff, or not the landfill, but the brush and stuff, I think they got plenty of opportunities, they shouldn't be in, to haul it out before them.
Well, we pick our day that we're gonna do this. If we choose to do it that first Saturday from 8 o'clock until 2 o'clock, we have the dumpsters there. And we have us there and we police what somebody from 604 North Street brings in. And we tell them, okay, the refrigerator goes over there. And we have somebody, maybe Keith Austin with his tractor or whatever he might have to help put it, you know what I mean? We're gonna still have all
If
of
they
it
come
here.
with a load of brush, send them straight to the
Exactly, you come with garbage, you turn around, we're not taking your.
Right, we're not taking anything garbage.
But- And then at 2 o'clock, we make sure those dumpsters are gone, so nobody brings any more stuff after
And here's
that.
the other thing. I'll volunteer to do this. I will stay with the dumpsters that night, so people ain't gonna run up there and throw shit in there that won't be in the right spot.
I want the dumpsters there, I don't even want them there overnight.
I know, but if they are there, if you don't go up there, people gonna drive by and throw whatever they feel
Well,
like
and
in
I
there.
think this is gonna prevent the people that go around junking and then rummage through all your stuff at your curb, because on Monday, before then, people are putting junk out there that they're bringing in from, I don't know where. And then we have all these people driving around, trying to get their own scrap.
We're gonna have to have a list more than what we have of stuff that can't go. And we definitely need to check on the microwaves. I think there's a new law out on that, and TVs and computer stuff, where it can't go, or there's a extra price on microwaves.
I did have Wendy, call the city clerk and gallery, since we know her anyway, and she got us this list when Gallery does their cleanup days, recycled items will still be picked up curbside in their case, but there's a $15 charge on appliances, including stoves, refrigerators, washers, dryers, microwaves, hot water heaters, all that.
If you remember right, microwaves were costing $30, $40 back 2 or 3
Okay.
years ago to get rid of. We
Right.
can't afford that.
Yeah, but we can check into that, but my point is, they were charging $15 for these appliances to be taken, and you have to go up to City Hall and get a sticker for it. And so that then we know, okay, you've paid for that, and so then,
Well, isn't there somebody that usually comes around that picks up appliances that? For the
Yeah,
metal,
the
for the
junkies
metal?
that come
That's what I'm saying, that's a junkers that drive, it's not somebody, a whole bunch of people that drive around,
Several of them.
rummage through.
Right.
Pick up that metal washers and dryers and stuff
Right.
like that.
If each homeowner is responsible for getting it from their ownership to the dumpster, I wouldn't think too many homeowners are gonna put it at the curb and then. So people are responsible for their getting it. There's no more people going around picking up curbside like it's been in the past. I picked up enough disgusting mattresses that,
And that will also maybe eliminate people putting it out 2 weeks in advance
Exactly.
and being wet, knowing they're gonna have to bring it up there instead of us.
yeah. And sometimes stuff being brought in from out in the country, but do we want to consider doing something like this, charging for appliances?
do we want to skip a year? Do we want to skip a year? How many years have we done it now?
So the last 30, we probably did it every year.
I have
Fire
done,
department have any input, they wanna say anything?
I have done it a lot. In fact, when Lauren was 23 years old, she was stabbing my back when I was.
We can.
Okay.
I don't think it needs to be done every year. That's my opinion.
A lot of times we're doing the same people over and over and over
Right.
and over again. It gets
Shall
sick.
we skip a year or shall we revise it? We gotta kind of,
Let's do it this year and then skip
Get
next year.
But
what did you
let's,
say, Jake?
let's enforce what we're doing. Let's not just talk about it, and we're actually gonna enforce it. They come up there with the wrong stuff, we send them back. And we don't want, like I said again, we don't want somebody during the night to come up there, nobody's looking at the dumpsters, and they throw it in wherever the hell they want to.
Well,
Well, we gotta-
I think that's where we tell them, listen, we need the dumpsters there Saturday at 8
Some-
o'clock.
Sometimes that
And we
don't
need it
work
at
for
2
them.
o'clock. Well, that's, so yeah, somebody will need to check on that, but I mean, that's what's gonna happen. Now, last year, there was a lot of people there that knew, where do you know, and know that, okay, all the stoves and the appliances, we have enough people that are enough. It's those people that
We had some good help.
we do, but the good help is getting tired
Yes, I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
and old. I'm
Yeah.
old, that's me. So so if we're gonna do it this year, are we going to do it where you buy tags and we're gonna charge people? Or are we going to just put out there that the dumpsters will be here from here to here, you bring your stuff to the dumpsters yourself?
Well, I tell you, last year, I couldn't believe the number of appliances.
Oh, there's been some years.
My
where they-
goodness.
Some of them came from somewhere besides
Yeah.
Grand Junction.
You just haven't been around for junk cleanup day enough.
That
because
last year was like compared to some of the years I've
It
seen.
really,
It
really
was triple that.
It really was.
So-
Yeah, I propose, or not propose, I make a motion that we go that route where they have to come up and buy a thing. We gotta get our information out early to them through the light plants, electric bill,
And if they don't,
the ins and outs.
and if they don't have some kind of a sticker, and so Wendy, if you can get a hold of them and find out what they use for a sticker up there. So if they don't have a sticker,
It's not good.
then they can either
on
pay
the spot.
somebody right there, or, they take it back to them.
But here's the deal, but we're still not going door to door and picking up trash.
No,
With or without a sticker, we're not going, we
right,
don't
we're
need,
not going door to, no door to door.
okay.
So people like Weston, Gillis and all that, they don't need to come to the house.
Well, if they want to, they can, but they've been every year, they've never missed.
Well, we still have to have people help load it
If they're-
into those.
If they're
dumpsters.
available, they have their tractors and backhoes and whatever, but we still need people, like, Johnny brings a trailer full of stuff he brings a trailer full of his junk. Us, some of the volunteers need to be able to help get it from off the trailer into the appropriate dumpster. And Paula and I did a ton of that last year. We helped stay at the dumpsters.
Well, one of the sell stickers is that they need stickers on the morning that they're gonna take the stuff, because if they put the stickers a week in advance, somebody's gonna go buy it.
Well, they can just bring the sticker with them.
They're not supposed to set it out a week in advance.
Yeah, if they paid $15 for a refrigerator, they can hand me the sticker in the refrigerator, you know.
Okay.
They don't even have to stick it, they just, I mean, it doesn't even have to be sticky or what we're saying, it just has to be a ticket that says, I paid $15 to get this.
Is everybody aware of the federal law with refrigerators as far as if it sets out there and it's not, the door has not been secured or taken off, that's a federal law against that.
Well, most of them are childproof anymore.
The other thing that I will say is, if you set your refrigerator out and you come up and get a sticker, and then somebody drives by and goes, oh my gosh, I'll take that refrigerator, then you're just out.
Yeah.
There's no refund on stickers.
Yeah.
Once
Save it for
it's
another
bought,
time.
it's, it's bought.
Well, no, we wouldn't be saving it for another time, they're just out, we're just gonna put in that letter that goes out. If a situation like that occurs, you're out, we're not gonna
I
get
think
any
this
money
will,
back.
it might make it easier for everybody. I mean,
You think the public will accept?
well, if we don't come around and pick up their garbage, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to do, it's kind of a courtesy. I mean, we kind of help, but,
I know it is.
I mean, I don't know.
We're making big changes this year, meaning we're not going door to door and we're charging a little something.
We're getting sick of picking up trash and shouldn't
I'm
throw the
just
garbage.
saying, I was just stating those two things, we just need to think about that, we're making big changes, and we're either gonna be stuck with full dumpsters, or the obvious, not much at all.
So are you saying that we shouldn't
No.
no, I'm not, are you saying we shouldn't do the stickers? If we're gonna go, you have to bring it to us,
No, I'm not partial to,
charging them?
I don't care, I mean, it's
Okay.
whatever we decide, I'm just saying, this is a big change from what the town people are used to, and
It's hard to change.
it is hard, so we either go big or go home, or we make the itty bitty steps, it's whatever everybody says.
Just
I was
because,
just pointing it out.
just because the fire department, is here, you got any,
You guys always have a good crew.
yeah, you guys have a good crew, what do you think about changing it to bringing it to the dumpsters? That's not how you get
Yeah, you
it out.
busted your back time and
I
time
think it's
again.
great, but we do have some elderly people in town that may not have the means to
Valid
get there. That, I mean, we don't mind as a group volunteering and going to get them. But then I suppose you're gonna have to call or set something up. so
Right.
I'm gonna have to agree with you 100%. If
Great.
our 102-year-old friend,
What does it cost the city to pay Walters and everything after this is all done? What was that?
I can't tell you that information,
maybe what we need to do
He
is,
treats us pretty good.
he does, but maybe what we need to do, we need to decide on the day and the time. And if we can get the dumpsters there, like say on Saturday at 7 o'clock until 2 o'clock. I mean, because I think the only way this is going to work is if we have the dumpsters there, they're not unattended overnight, because people are either, they're not gonna put it in their dumpster, they're gonna throw it near the dumpster.
here's what I have from last year on my notes. We had talked to the supervisors over in Boone County, and they gave us 4 loads free to the landfill. Pickets last year was, the supervisors, how much per load? $34 a ton at the landfill. I don't know that I have pickets on here.
That's all right, I was just kinda
Did
curious.
they just charge us and then they got the?
They got all the scrap
They charged
stuff.
us for,
They got the iron for nothing.
They got the iron
but they
for
still charge
nothing.
us for the dumpster, and then they got the scrap.
Yeah,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
I
I don't remember how much it was. I don't have that information because
Maybe we need to,
check
like I
on
said,
that.
we need to see if we can even get the dumpsters for the time we need it. And,
I think that they're safe, oh, no, that was,
but,
was it Tickets that called and said, when are we having, it was Walters.
Tickets didn't want nothing to do with this, I think, last time.
Oh, I think Pickett's came down and got stuff.
Yeah, it was,
why don't we get why don't we get the scrap, Jerry? Why don't we get the scrap money? It's coming from our town.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
We're
at
paying
least
for the
you're-
dumpsters.
Yeah, but at least you're not paying landfill charges.
You know, if you're paying $34 a ton, it adds up quick.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You take your
You get four.
You take your scrap to Pickett's, you take the other junk to the landfill. So, somebody help me out here.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you guys might.
I'd like to do it.
right,
You're paying your dumpster fees, but you're not getting your money back from your iron.
Yeah, and it's our junk. I mean,
Yeah, it's your metal.
yeah, so why aren't, somebody needs to check into that. I don't know
I think it's just one of those,
if they don't charge us for the dumpsters. If they're not charging us for the dumpsters and they're getting the metal fee, I kinda can understand that.
Yeah.
But if
if they're charging
Shouldn't have
us
to
for
pay
the,
for the dumpster.
and
Give them
give them the
the-
metal, yeah, that's
We're
kind of
kinda-
double dipping, isn't it?
Yeah, somebody needs to check into that.
Okay.
can I tell you this?
Yes,
No,
You're fighting a
yes.
losing battle.
What was that?
You're fighting a losing battle with that people.
Well, but here's
Who are
the
we
deal,
fighting it
at Grundon's, they brought the dumpsters down. And then they took them away and the betterment committee got the metal, we got a check for, I don't remember what it is, but the betterment committee got it,
1,400.
thank you. So
Try, I'm making a side bet with you though.
I don't want any bet, but it just seems like,
I just thought I'd throw that out at you
yeah, thanks, Jerry.
guys.
so we're voting to go ahead and have it the first weekend in June. And we've decided that we want everybody to bring their junk to us, except the little old ladies or, somebody who really has a problem. And are we going to charge them for their appliances?
The little old ladies?
Everybody.
Yeah, well,
Make sure in our newsletter that we say that this is this year, next year we won't do.
would
The
the,
appliances will probably go for the metal part anyway.
would the fire department be willing to have a crew that would go pick up the stuff from our 102-year-old neighbor? You know what I mean? If there's, you know what I'm saying? I know you guys volunteer a lot, and it's always a fun group to have. If that's our group that has volunteered to help.
Right, we
But
could,
they have to call in to Wendy and
We
say.
could-
Arrangements.
we could send the city guy, make sure that he's here with the tractor to go down and lift them from the curb up onto the whatever.
But I'm just saying, the fire department's willing to do that, and that's awesome but they have to schedule that through Wendy. They can't just throw it out on the curb and expect you guys to drive all over town and figure it out.
Right.
And they still have to pay $15 for the ticket or whatever they might have.
And we'll look into what it is that is approved to be picked up in case if Kenny is correct on the microwaves and because on this flyer it says TVs and they don't take TVs.
And we're not taking
You wanna make a
tires.
side bet and lose again with me?
No,
There'll be no tires.
I'm not betting with you ever again, Kenny, thank you.
Oh, she must have lost.
She did.
We're not taking
She
tires.
wasn't right on.
Okay, so I'm not right on a lot of things, Jerry. Okay,
We'll
so,
have to debate into that.
so I make a motion, or you make a motion, who started this?
I did.
Okay, make a motion.
Make a motion that that's the way we go with it.
You can't say it all.
I'm gonna have to.
Let's try this, try the new stuff.
Okay.
And then also in that letter, make sure we say that we're not doing it next year, so.
We're gonna do
all
it,
your stuff you got this year out
yeah,
there.
we're gonna do it every other year, they're gonna bring them to us. You're gonna have to pay for your appliances that you're setting out. If you schedule ahead of time, and it's reasonable, it's a little old lady, whatever, then we will come and get it from you. Is there anything else I forgot?
Fire department will have crew to.
Yeah, the fire department will have a crew to help go get it.
And the tractor will go with the fire.
And, yeah, Rod can have the tractor available for whatever.
And you should have a plan
You
by
guys
then.
don't have to bust your tail.
Okay, so Kenny, you made the motion?
I'll second that.
Ah,
Aye.
that was a tough one.
Neither.
Yeah, she's gonna have to watch to figure that out.
Discussion and vote to hire pavement doctor for road repair. Jake?
We had, Kenny and I had a meeting the other day, and we talked to, well, I had some information on this pavement doctor to do some patchwork, filling potholes basically, and
We got some good comments from Dave Peoples over in Jefferson, and there's a couple other people over there. Dave's in charge of the streets over there, and he told me that they took their worst street and had this company from Fort Dodge, it's just a one-guy deal, come in and do it, and in 5 years, they've only had to fix one little pothole since, and it was one of the busiest streets. And everybody I've talked to over there that's had him, they say really good things about him. And also, he does 7 ton at a time. He mixes his own stuff and it gets sprayed in, he's not rolling it. It's sprayed in, fill the holes, got rock chips and other stuff in it. He cleans the hole out super good and puts some stuff in there. So I thought we'd give him a try, and what we're looking at is 7 tons would be $2,625. He does all the work, nobody else does anything. I looked at what we're paying for that stuff down in Des Moines or wherever we have to go get it. It's time to go get it and get it back, and you only have a short period of time to work with it or it's no good. And there's about 6-7 years worth of that stuff that people never uses.
Kenny, if this guy starts, how is it a day project, a week, 2 weeks, do you have any idea?
Well, we're just gonna try it once and see how, just to see how it is. And then we're gonna try it on one of the worst spots we got, one of the busiest spots we have, up there in front of the bar, the hotel, John L. Thompson's, Moranville. And as that road that goes back to Casey's, there's a big hole, and then around the curve there, as you're going back to NC Plus, there's a big hole. Further down, how far that 7 ton will go. But that's probably the busiest place in town right there. So, and it's
And you say 2,600?
$2,625. He does 7 tons, he won't do any less at a time.
Where's the 25
It's $375 a ton, right here.
more?
See that? Well, at 2,600. I figured it's 26.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's try
You
it.
gotta try it.
And don't have any idea when we can get him scheduled. I mean, we don't know what his timetable is, maybe right away,
get
maybe.
contacted to get it on.
Well, let's get on his list.
He's doing work for Rippey, for the Ragbri, he's doing some more stuff over in Jefferson and Scranton, but
I make a motion, we hire a pavement doctor for road repair.
Second.
Aye.
if he works out and we have the money, we'll do other spots. 1 week, if we can get on this, but we'll try.
Walter Sanitation.
Wait, did you say aye?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear you, sorry. I just want to make sure everybody, it's okay, go ahead, sorry.
Discussion about Walter Sanitary.
Yeah, if their contract comes up, I thought he was gonna be tonight. The contract is up in May, and, the landfill's gonna be raising their rates about $2 a ton. I did talk to Ogden to try to find out what they did, and what they do over there is they let the residents decide if they want Walters or if they want, she said, waste management out of Ames. And then the city's not involved, the people get billed individually. So here's the thing. Now, instead of having just one garbage truck, we have 2 garbage trucks running over our streets. Can we trust everybody to hire somebody to do their garbage. So talking to Paula this afternoon, late this afternoon, she suggested that there might be a company out of Lehigh, did you say? Harcourt. So I'm gonna call them, I think, and see if we can get a bid. And I'll call Walters to see how come he didn't come tonight, give a bid. He did ask me if we were gonna go out and look for other bids, and I said, well, I don't know where else to go to look.
And you
And
said our contract is up in June.
May. You know, I have to say this, having been in the garbage game for several years, I don't hear complaints about him. He does do good service. He does give us those dumpsters for cleanup. So I think those are some of the things we need to take, and he did not come back when fuel prices jumped up. He didn't come back and say, I need more money. He ate it. He ate it, and I'll tell you, you work for those big companies, we're on you right away. We want more money, so I think those are things we need to think about before we vote. So I'll have some more information for you at the next meeting.
Well, like, does the other company supply the garbage thing?
Toters, yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. The one thing that I didn't like was I asked about for us old people that don't have a lot of garbage, could we get a special price? And he said, no. And I said, well, you are charging extra when people have more. And he said, yeah,
Do they have a smaller can?
no.
Who, Walters?
We have been told that there are,
There is
There
smaller
are
cans
smaller
because,
Yeah, there are.
because
But
they don't
charge
charge
the
any
same.
less. They
Oh,
just get a small one for
okay.
older people.
Well,
Is
I
it
know in
on
Des Moines, they had 3 sizes and it was $2 less each time you went down.
yeah,
But I mean, mine's only 25% full.
right. After talking with Joan at the light plant, she said there are a few people around town who have a smaller can, but it's more of a convenience because it's easier to pull that smaller can out to the road. And so that's why they have it. They still pay the same amount for it. But it's my understanding that if we started having smaller cans and different prices and all that, that the light plant would not do our billing for us. Because then you have to have like different software and all that, and
How do they bill if somebody has two toters then? Because it's a different price than if you have one toter.
Does somebody have two?
Yeah, there's a few people that have 2 toters.
She gives me a number for all the bins, all the residents that have them, when she brings in her monthly statement.
So you know that Billy Smith has 2 garbage bins.
So then do we charge Billy Smith more for the 2?
does she have, sorry, Billy.
No.
If you're
No, I was
listening,
just
it's just a
throwing
name that was
out
thrown out there,
there.
we're not accusing you.
Well, we need to find that out. Billy's not, she's not in town anymore.
So anyway, what was your question?
Well, if somebody's got 2 toters,
Yes.
are they being charged for 2 toters?
I would imagine so. Or maybe somebody's found one someplace it looks alike and they slipped it in there and nothing's,
I don't
no
know.
one's the wiser.
Let me do a little more homework.
Great,
Look at
Okay.
it.
okay. Are you done?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Vote and approve on getting a new defibrillation for the community center and pool.
Yes, the AED that was for here at the community center is old batteries, dead, the sticky things are, the electrode pads are out of date. So we definitely need a new one for the community center. And we also thought that we probably need one for the pool because that is a really area that you would need them. And so the fire department gave us the AED that we had here before did not, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, it did not switch over to theirs or the one with the Jefferson ambulance by like unplugging it here, there, would you have to do, put new pads on?
Well, you have to, yes. Where if you got this one, you can unplug and we plug into it.
Yeah, plug into
Save-
theirs
save a lot of time.
and away you go, yeah. So these,
Let's get what,
yeah, these, are $1,395 a piece, but it covers,
And again, we can use some of this money, and I think that's great.
it covers child and adults, one for the pool, one for here. And then when the pool is not in operation, it will just be back here as a
You have to be
spare.
trained,
I'm sorry?
trained, you have to be trained to use that.
No, it's like made for idiots, right?
It is, those are generally pretty
It's part of the
self-sufficient,
training.
and here's the deal, all of them, the directions are right there,
And
and
they
it verbally
speak out.
tells you.
Yeah.
It verbally tells you.
Yeah.
Apply pads and shows, where to apply the pads, there is training I'm sure that we could have,
It's
but
part of CPR training, so any of your lifeguards at the pool are CPR certified,
Right.
they would be trained how to use an AED.
Oh, okay.
But they're pretty idiot proof.
It'd be nice that everybody be in sync.
Yeah.
Junction, Jefferson, us, and they won't have to be switching stuff around.
exactly.
Well, yeah, I don't want you to unhook me and then have to wait 3 or 4 minutes to hook me back up to go. I just like a quick, switch over there and take it.
Did you make the motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we get 2 of these.
I,
Thank you. Do we just order this online ourselves then, or do we get it through you guys, or how does that work, do you know?
However you want to handle it. I know like the 30-yard line,
They went through it.
they went through us, we ordered it for them.
You guys get a better deal?
Yeah, do you guys get a better deal? Discount? If we get 2, do we get a bonus, a bag of suckers?
Where's the season ordered out of? Is there a, does it say?
Mandy's the one who looked it up, so I'm not sure where they.
I don't see it.
Well, I think we can look it up, and then if we can't, we can.
Okay.
These guys are.
Yeah, we may need your help ordering that, but thank you for that information.
Vote and approve fire chief Walker.
The fire department voted on a new fire chief, so we need to approve the new fire chief, Jason McDowell. I vote that we approve him as the new fire chief. I don't know what else I need to say, guys.
I second it.
I,
Aye.
Any discussion from the public on
And we are, just as an update, we are gonna work on some updated things that we would like to see happen, and as well as once we get all of the budget and everything figured out. And I think Wendy already is maybe getting you guys do you send them the copy of the light bill and heating bill and that kind of stuff? Have we started that yet?
I sent Brad.
Okay.
Go down, get my, whatever that email. that
Okay,
password.
yeah, so he didn't know the
I
password?
don't think so.
It's gonna be
They're gonna
bad.
have to give me the password or whatever for it.
Okay, because I think you put it under the fire chief, didn't you? So then if it switched, and so then she will be sending that stuff to you so that you know your heating bill is outrageous, maybe cut back or whatever. But that's one of the things that we hope to work out with you guys and give you a budget all the time. And if you get with her after the meeting, she'll be able to tell you what that password is. She set it up.
How often are fire chiefs voted in?
Every 2 years.
You can,
Every, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Vote, so,
No, I was just clarifying, I didn't hear.
vote and approve the hiring of a new cleaning person for the community center. Mickey?
Yeah, we have a new cleaning lady, her name's Marta Lacey, she lives here in town. And I've worked with her twice, and it's just gonna work out, so.
she's just on call. Is that how that
Yes.
works? When you need her, you,
Well, we're kind of doing it this way. She will come in every 2 weeks if we don't have anything planned to clean, just so that we keep the restrooms looking nice, because we have the ladies come in and play cards every Tuesday and
all
stuff.
right.
And if we have somebody, like we've got, the Fun Days Committee's got something going on the 23rd of this month, which is 2 days after the 2 weeks, so I said, just wait until, and we'll do it that way and see how that goes. And if you hear that we're not doing a good enough cleaning job, let me know, and we'll work out something else. That's where we are.
And so you're making a motion to hire her?
Yes, Marta Lacy at $20 an hour like we paid the last gal.
I'll second.
Aye.
I guess I don't have anything, Mayor, sound like the sewer plant is coming along. Major items. The dump looks nice, I had to open it up.
No, you didn't, I did.
You got there first.
You weren't there.
Not, maybe not, but I was there, you about ran us over, but I was there doing it.
Yes.
Okay,
So that's where.
one time, you ran me over.
Speaking of the dump,
I don't know how I missed you.
Yeah, me either.
somebody locked their own chain and key on there and locked, so it got cut off today. Thrown away.
We're hoping that was just a
There's a key
mistake.
for each one of them.
I don't know. Are you done with your,
No,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, yes, I am. Council,
Okay. I'm just gonna say, first of all, I can't remember if I said it at the last meeting or not, but I did apply for the Paint Iowa Beautiful grant from Diamond Vogel Paint, and we did get 8 gallons of paint, that we can use toward the swimming pool and painting that, so we'll be looking for volunteers to do that.
We're talking just to build, this ain't for the pool, this is for the.
This is for the building,
Building
and
outside.
I know the outside of it needs
Right.
it, I don't know
just
how
don't
far.
want people to get confused, think we're painting over that new.
No,
No, we don't do that.
no. The other thing, we had talked about Grove Green County was gracious enough to give us that money, so we've got some things with that. The one thing that I'm gonna address at this is the stolen signs, because I've just had my fill of hearing about the stolen signs. And so this is not a back and forth, I'm just going to tell you. You can go to just about any flea market anywhere and buy signs. Stop signs, railroad crossing signs, anything. There
All
has
sorts of them on
been,
the internet,
pardon me,
all sorts of them on the internet.
Oh, yes.
Craigslist.
There has been no charges filed against Laura, Dean, anybody on these signs. And like I said, you can purchase them any place. They're not, it's ridiculous to keep bringing up stolen signs that are not stolen.
And why did the railroad
So-
company get them?
This is not a back and forth, I am simply telling you. And as far as CPO for the pool manager and that kind of stuff, we're well aware of the requirements for the pool manager. Does not have to have CPO license. We have our maintenance man that has the CPO license, as did Brett last year when he worked as our street man. But the stolen signs is a dead issue. Put it to rest. The dump key is the last thing I'm gonna say is, please everybody be aware that every council member and the mayor has a key to the dump. If you can't get in, call one of us or text one of us, private message, whatever. Also, the city clerk has one, be glad to give it to you. It's an inconvenience, but we have had people bringing trees and stuff like that from like down around the Rippey, Perry area to our dump, people bringing in stuff that just shouldn't be there. That's why we lock it. But if you know, hey, Saturday, I'm gonna need it opened, just get a hold of one of us, we'll gladly give you the key. We're not trying to make it difficult, we just.
We know that homeowners and stuff, they usually have a job during the week and they only have Saturday
Right.
and Sunday to do that.
Yeah.
So please call us, we'll get you a key.
And if I'm not home, Keith knows where my key is, Dean knows where her key is, you know, we can get one for you, so
Because if
keep
we,
that in
the
mind.
DNR more or less told us one time, if we find much more of this stuff in here, we're gonna close your dump. And then you're gonna haul it a long ways. So everybody try to, if you see something going wrong there, let us know, because we don't wanna close up the dump.
And Jake only lives a couple of blocks, he'd be glad to just run right down there and open that
Hopefully
for
my
you.
key works now.
It didn't?
No. I had loaned it out to a guy this weekend and it did not work because.
It was,
somebody put a-
okay, that's the thing, it
put a
was that
different lock
second,
padlock on
the second lock. It would have worked on the other lock,
it.
but
I haven't tried it yet.
it should have, because I think we tried it, but hopefully, let me know if it doesn't.
Yeah, there was
That's a
two
problem.
keys to that.
Well, I don't know who's
Well,
got
I think
the
we
other
only
key.
need one lock on, we only need one padlock on.
Yeah, one
It's not-
The other lock was there when the chain was around, it was there, but someone took like a brand new chain, a real short one, it was really hard to
The
cut.
rusty one.
The rusty one was where the other one's at, so we cut it this morning so people could use the dump. We don't know where the key's at.
Yeah, because we couldn't even get in.
Mine don't work in either.
Anybody else, council stuff?
I do.
Okay.
First off, park equipment now will be coming probably beginning of May. Nothing we can do about it, it's when they can get a crew here and the weather will cooperate. Nobody wants to hear more than probably myself and or Paula because
We want to play on it.
it's our baby. Anyway, so that's just an update
Right.
of what's going on there. Second thing, I think council and city, we need to think about possibly increasing the sewer rates to help pay for the lagoon project. I don't know that there's gonna be grants available, or if any, if that's even a possibility, but loans and stuff, but I want each of you to be thinking about, should we do that?
We got to.
And if there's several ways of doing it, do you increase big right now, or do you increase every year by a percentage for 5 years?
Well, they're
It's
gonna-
something that I want,
Yeah.
we can't vote on anything right now, but we gotta think about it.
The people that are doing the sewer, that we're gonna borrow the money from to do that, are gonna make us this certain rate for sure for the next 20 years. But you gotta remember, we're basically just replacing stuff out there. This infrastructure is 100 years old, and it ain't hanging together very good. We need to build up some money, because that's gonna go bad. It is going bad.
It's a good thing we had what we had in there.
So again, be thinking about it, council, about how we wanna approach this. Again, if we're gonna go raise it one time and be done for the next 10 years, or if we're going to a
How
little
long is
bit.
the loan for?
20 years.
But we also, you know, that's gonna take what's in our fund now, and like Kenny said, we're gonna wanna replace, so I mean, it's, like I said, I just want people thinking about it so we can.
Just like the other day, those two pipes were collapsed there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the bill is on that, but it had to be fixed or somebody don't have a sewer.
Right. But like Laura said, think about, do we want to hit them hard all at once and just, you know, here it is, or we gently beat everybody up a
People-
little bit?
People look at us as the bad guys. It ain't us.
It's hitting
It ain't
us
us that created this problem. It's
Well-
just stuff that hasn't been dealt with.
too. And I just as soon have an indoor bathroom as out.
I might add something, you might have something different, but they just got hit with a big assessment already. Maybe we could gradually do it up as you go along. That's the way Greene County did it, supposedly for the farm. And they increased it 5.25%. That's supposed to go 5 years. So you can start small, but you can also change it as you go along.
We've got to pay this company so much every 5 years to come in and readjust that rate.
Yeah.
If it ain't working.
Oh, that
So
right.
That's right.
again, I just wanted us thinking about it, because it is something we're going to need to think about and decide on. And you've all got the contracts and stuff that you can look at, and, you know, maybe next month we can
And we're,
fine tune it a little bit. Another thing Paula touched on earlier, that Kelly Beeman had jetted out some of this stuff. And he had gone kind of each, I'm gonna say quadrant, and we aren't going to need him because the company is doing that like this summer. Well, we need to get a contract with him saying X amount for X amount of price, you know? And Paul and I have talked to him about that, what he needs, what he wants and that sort of thing. And we also Paula has been in contact to tell him, listen, this company's doing it. We're still are gonna wanna have this contract, it's just we don't need to be in a rush with it. So that's what that kind of contract is all about for that. As far as the Greene County money, you know, we applied for a grant for Main Street. one of the reasons that they kind of gave that we didn't get it was because we didn't have any money saved back or to put towards it. They rarely give the total amount that you need for a project. I want you to think about, again, I'm giving you a lot to think about, maybe we should hold back 20 grand, 15, 10, and ear tag that for the Main Street. So then we can say, listen, we've got whatever amount for that. So next year, they might be more willing. And I think if we can look for more grants for it, there's more out there that we can get.
I would have to say that we need to fix as many of these damn potholes as we can. They're horrible.
Right, but we're just talking the
Yeah,
rest
if we had
of
an
Main
extra
Street.
I just
would be
wonder if
nice.
we're gonna have enough to even get back in any kind of compliance.
Yeah.
Here's the only good news that I can tell you is that the bathroom is gonna open up down at the ballpark starting tomorrow from 9 till, put a question mark by 4 o'clock. It'll be locked up. If there's something else going on, needs to stay open later, we will. And that's a
And that's-
nice bathroom.
And that's at the park, the
No.
city park?
That's at the ball field.
Oh, at the ball
The
field.
other one's gonna open in a couple more days.
Okay, all right.
Laura, you said about the playground equipment, is there anything that needs to be done down there, stumps removed or anything prior to? How big an area do you need?
We had it flagged out at one
50
point.
by 50, and the stumps shouldn't have to be removed at this time. There weren't any trees in that area when we kind of flagged it out at first.
And we're gonna have, I think, Keith, go in and cut, I don't know, what am I trying to say? He's gotta go and dig it out.
Yeah, when we get the call that, like, we're 3 weeks out or 2 weeks out, it's a catch-22 to get the area ready. If we go right now and dig it out, and it's only gotta be like 6, 8 inches deep, something like that, and we get a bunch of rain, it's nothing but a mud pit, and then it's gonna take longer to dry out, and then they can't come in and do it. Otherwise, if we can just have like a 4 or 5 day heads up on it, then Keith can go in there and get that dug out, and then hopefully it won't rain and they can come in and put it in. But I don't think that any of those tree stumps are in the area that we were going to do.
I tried to look at it the other day.
Yeah, we wanted the trees out because it's easier to clean up, but I don't think any of those trees are in the way.
Speaking of trees, we still have at least 45 more to do.
Yes, Rod is gone on vacation. When he gets back, then we'll start in on those trees again. So hang in there, we gotta wait for our help.
That's all I have.
Okay, street maintenance, I think everybody's got a thing from Rod here. Components of the library, everybody got a sheet on that. Fire department, you got anything?
I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the fish fry. Like your guys' support, really appreciate it, so. And the Easter egg hunt went well.
Yeah.
All the young kids.
Is the fish fry the only fundraiser meal type thing that you guys do? Do you do another one? But is that over here too? It's here, okay, all right. 'Cause I was gonna say, I don't know, we let you guys use the tables and I don't have a problem with that, and I don't think it's a bad thing. You're part of the city, and I just don't, you're right across the street. I don't think that was a bad thing. Maybe it was, but I'll stand behind it, using that. So if you guys have something else like that, reach out to us and we'll help if we can, really. So, yeah. Anything else? Okay, so you've been fire chief for a hot minute.
Yeah, hot minute.
Okay, okay.
I make a
Well-
motion we adjourn.
Okay, that sounds good. Second, third, aye.
Have you done anything about getting that school on, finding out about that?
Thursday.
You're going Thursday.
Sherry Kearney don't need a letter here for you. Street maintenance compliance officer is.
Hello?
Do you remember the?
Yes.
Up to you when you
Oh,
get.
yeah, I got it in there.
Oh, okay, good to know, good to know. Yes, thank you, I will,
Yeah, I think that's the same.
right,
All of this is the same lot.
I will do the same.
We ever put that other lock on there?